Hello guys, I'm back with another video today. It's been a huge long time since I made a video. So today I'll just come straight to the point. Today we're going to do two sum and three sum. It's a bad joke I know, but still let's do it. So today let's understand the first problem. So today let's understand the question first. So we are given an array of integers, nums and a target. So I have to return the indices of both the numbers such that they add up to the target. So in this array you see, I'll zoom in. So in this array 2, 7, 11 and 15, we need to get two elements such that both of their sum is equal to the target, which is 9 here in this case. So target is 9, so 2 and 7 we have. Their indexes are 0 and 1. So a brute force approach for this question would be, we would just keep use two for loops, and one would be at the initial position and one would be its next position. So if we have 2 here, so I would compare 2 with add 2 with 7, it's going to be a 9. That's why initially it's this for this case it's working. For other cases 2 plus 7 we would check, and then 2 plus 11 no, 2 plus 15, and then 7 plus and we would come to 7, 7 plus 11 and 7, yeah, so on we would go. So we would use hash maps here as the problem tags even suggests that. Wait a minute, let me related topics, yeah, array and hash table. So we use a hash map which would simplify our problem. So let me use it. Let's create a hash map. Let me zoom in to the compiler. Yeah, so I will use a hash map here which would take integer and integer values. So and then our next step would be, so let's take one condition. I'll take one default case. For example, let's create our own test case. 1 2, let's not make it sorted. Randomly I'm typing numbers here. For example, I want to find 8. Imagine the target is equal to 8. So that what would I do? So so 8 minus 1. So if 8 minus 1 is present, so for example we have 1 here, and then imagine 1 is a possible candidate for the sum. So 8 plus 8 minus 1 would be 7. So we would check if 7 is present. So our answer can be, so we have multiple answers. So as you can see, the question says we can have only one solution. So our possible answer can be 1 and 7. Basically their indexes we can keep. So that's one way. So in this hash map, we would store the target minus each value, and we would take their respective indexes. And so we'll start. So our hash map is present here. We created it, and then now we would iterate from 0 to the till the last one. Nums.len, and so we created our we start our iteration now from the starting. So if nums of I minus the target, sorry, the target minus nums of I, if it's present in our hash map, if map dot contains key is used to check whether a key is present in our hash map or no. So it's a if you so we would even create a array here, so that's fine. We don't need to do that, we can just add it directly. So if a map contains the key target minus nums of I, so then we would you just return the answer. So into fan array equals to new, what would our values be? So our values would be uh, the number, it's the target minus nums, the index which we wanted. So I'll put it as map.get target minus num, that index we would need, and then we would need the I value. So these are required. I'll do one thing. Let's ditch this and let's create a separate array. We'll call it answer. Okay. With size 2 because we need only 2 elements. So if it contains, so our answer of 0 would be map.get value of the target minus the nums of I value. So we would get this value exactly. I would suggest you people try this question as you guys look into it. We would get this value and add it here, no problem. And then answer of 1 would be the I value which we got right now. And if at all, if it isn't present, we would obviously add it. So map.put target and nums of I, and then we would have the index itself. No, we would add the nums. Yeah. In the ending, we would return the answer array as it is. Let's try. Yeah, it got accepted. Let's try for one more test case. The target is 6. Let's run it. Yeah, it got accepted. Let's submit this. Good guys, till now. Now we'll go to our threesome problem. This problem is kind of tricky. It's not like it's related to twosome, but it's not so related. So I'll tell you, I'll first explain the approach, guys. So here the thing is that last time it was like they gave you a target. Here the target is 0. So here we have three elements: nums of 0, nums of 1, nums of 2. So for example, let me take the first test case and explain it to you guys. So imagine there's this array. Array has how many? It has -1, 0, 1, 2, -1, and -4. So we should get all the array list, like list of lists, such that if the sum of the sub list should sum up to 0. In such a way, we need to get an answer. So for example, you see here -1 plus -1 plus 2 is how much? It's 0, and that we can't have duplicate elements in it. And then nums of 1 plus nums of 2 plus nums of 4, which is equal to 0 again. So yeah, you can see here 1, 0, 1 and 2, and then 1, 2 and 4, and 0, 3 and 4. These are the three arrays which we have. The order doesn't matter, as you can see. So my approach would be, let me take this test case and explain. So you can see this test case. So I would, so right now my approach would be, first I would, like normal brute force approach would be, I would have 3 pointers. Like just imagine one pointer is here, and then one pointer is here, and then one pointer is here. So this -1, I would add it up with these, and I would find all the possible combinations. This would become this would become big O. This will become big O of it will become big O of n cube. So that's why we are not doing this approach. So that's you guys can try that approach. Before trying this approach, before trying the optimal approach, try that brute force approach. It will increase your intuition for the problem. So then we'll try our optimized solution. So my approach would be to sort the array first. So sorting would take n log n, normal sorting methods. So if I sort this first array, I would have a -4, and then I would have a -1, -1, 0, and then 1, and then 2. So you guys can see these. So then, so if I need to get 3 numbers, so keeping -4 constant, can I get any other 2 numbers? So if I keep -4 constant, it's two-sum problem. So here, these remaining ones wouldn't give you any answer because it won't sum up to -4. And imagine I have a -1. So I need to find other 2 numbers which sum up to a 1, so that the total sum will be equal to 0. Here you can see -1 plus the 2 sum of this thing gives you you get a 0 and then 1. So these are your probable. This is your one of your probable list, and then we need to get one more answer. So if you have -1 here, like exactly here, this point. So this -1, you got this answer, and now this -1, what would you get? So this -1, and then we would put a one more minus 1 here, and then we'll put a 2. This is one possible solution, right? So I would just code it up. I'll explain after coding it up. Okay. So here we would need a array list of lists. So that's the, let me copy this here. Let me zoom in. I copy this. This is the answer. New linked list. And the next step would be we would iterate from first we'll iterate from 0 to the nums dot length 2 minus 2, because in the ending you will need to have 3 elements, right? So that's why we shouldn't iterate the whole array. We need to keep 2 elements in the ending so that we can get the two sum of those. So as we iterate, now first we would check if the I value is 0, or if at all the I value is greater than 0, then there shouldn't be repetition. So nums of I minus 1, it shouldn't be equal to nums of I. That's a basic rule. And if at all this condition is satisfied, we would keep low equals to, we would have a low pointer which should be at I plus 1. So let me initialize the low pointer, high pointer. Let me keep it as 0 initially. I 0, and then target equals to 0. And the next step would be I equals to the length, and our target would be minus of, it would be minus of the nums of I. That's what our target is. So we got our 3 values. Now we would iterate from, we'll make sure that low is less than high till then. And if at all we get our answer in our first try, just imagine if the target value is equal to nums of low plus nums of high, if at all this is possible, then we would add it to our answer. So answer dot add arrays as list can be used to add these elements. They would add in which order we would add. So we would add the nums of I. Let me zoom out a bit. Yeah. So we would add the nums of I, and then we would add the nums of low and the nums of high. These things would be added, and then we would make sure we would move our low pointer and high pointer till it doesn't repeat anymore. So while the low pointer is less than high pointer, and the nums of low shouldn't be equal to nums of low plus 1. Till then, we would increase our low value. Same way, when our high value would be decreased till we don't see any repetitions. Should be high minus 1. So we will go on till there. But if at all we don't get the answer here, and if at all the target value is greater than, then we would write a special condition for that. If all the target value is greater than nums of low plus nums of high, then what would we do? Then we would increase our low value. So it's a sorted manner, right? So the target is greater than nums of low plus high, then we would obviously increase the low value. And then if at all this is the opposite of, or the contradiction of this happens, then we would decrease the high pointer. Yeah, so far it's good. And then once we loop out of our whole thing, we would return our answer. Let me run this code. So I should be less than So we got an empty array. Let's see what's the reason behind this. So if target is lesser than low plus plus I minus minus, it's good. I don't know where we're going wrong. Uh, so guys, I understood where the problem came up in. I didn't solve the array itself. I'm too dumb. So that was the main agenda and I didn't do that. Such things happen, guys. Beginners mistakes. Arrays dot sort are now we run. No, we still got a wrong answer. Let's check. Guys, I understood where the problem is. So we should go on till it's not equal to this. Is the only mistake I did. Now let's run the code. Yeah, we got it. Let me submit it. Obviously, we get the right answer. So, yeah, I hope people got the point. Thank you very much. Please subscribe.